Welcome back after that short break. And now we have a session on innovative solutions for unlocking the potential of SMEs for SDGs by Ms. Ashley Gokin. Ms. Ashley is a third-generation entrepreneur, technologist, public speaker, and voice in the global smart city revolution. Passionately driven by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, she co-founded Opelus to design unique solutions for the sustainable cities of tomorrow, with the citizen at the heart of it all. She currently serves as an ambassador for the United Nations Association of Chicago, representing goal number 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities. Her startup also received a Global Goals Award last fall in recognition of her work to promote goal number 7, affordable and clean energy. Let us listen to Ms. Ashley Gokin as she talks about innovative solutions for unlocking the potential of SMEs for SDGs. Over to you, Ms. Ashley.
Thank you so much. I first just want to thank the organization so much for having me today. This is truly such an honor to be included alongside such amazing individuals. And these presentations we've seen and even the dialogue that's been started has really been inspiring already. And having the opportunity to talk about a topic that I am so passionate about truly means so much. So a little bit more about me so you can kind of understand just how passionate I am about this and how it's really inspired my life's work. Growing up, I, like probably many of you attending the summit, I was so struck by the many challenges that our world faced. And I feel like it can be so easy at times to question how can one person or one organization really make an impact when there's so much work to be done. And I was in high school when I first found the Sustainable Development Goals. And at this time, I was over the moon because even as a child, I was researching, I was trying to figure out how can we possibly take steps that all come together and work as a collective towards these issues we have. And to me, the SDGs were so inspiring and so empowering to see that there was this framework that was out there. And there was this community that was starting to really understand these issues and really band together and say, we agree that these are problems and we want to all work together across borders, across time zones, whatever it takes to really reach these goals. And I was such a dork at the time, I even set the SDGs as the background on my computer screen so that every day I could look at the goals and try to figure out what can I do today that takes a little step towards that. And I feel like that's something that's also important today, is to realize how important it is to cultivate this excitement and this passion that exists in this future generation. Any age demographic, that really passion and that excitement that can be there, that I really believe fuels innovation, fuels these beautiful projects that come about. And so it was once I got a little bit older and started working that I realized that it was almost this missing ingredient that I hadn't realized was the potential of MSMEs to really serve as catalysts and really serve as powerful tools for achieving the SDGs. And so you heard a little bit more about some of my work, but I have had the honor of working with some fantastic large corporations that were on the cutting edge of technology and what business can do, but nothing compares to the incredible innovations that I've seen emerge from MSMEs. And it was very challenging for me to narrow down which examples I wanted to share, because there are so many that I would love to highlight. But here are just a few of my favorite examples of innovative solutions for unlocking the potential of SMEs for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. First, I would like to highlight one amazing project. The company is called $, and it's based out of Canada, and it was founded by a business partner and dear friend of mine, David Cam. And to me, the origin story and the intention behind this MSC is really what makes it a radical innovation. So for his story, it came after working on the front lines during the Dakota Access Pipeline protests here in the US, and he became a trusted friend of the Native American tribes he was working alongside. Now, David's own family came to Canada as refugees when he was a child, and he felt it was his duty to share and assist the tribes with the knowledge and resources he had when they sought his advice. Together with the tribes leading, which I think is an essential part of any of these projects, together with the tribes leading, they founded an organization called Earth Sovereign Wealth Fund and $. And so this really embodies the traditional values of the indigenous peoples as co-stewards of the earth. And when $. Launches later this year, it will be the single largest asset-backed cryptocurrency out there. And so how they did this was this beautiful, brilliant partnership where Earth Dollar is backed by over $5 trillion worth of Earth's in-ground assets, mostly from indigenous land, which consists of precious metals that include gold, silver, platinum, and other natural capital that have been pledged from the Earth Sovereign Wealth Fund. And so the amazing thing about this is that this keeps the assets and their value in the hands of the indigenous communities. And the beauty is that it uses a concept they call natural capital accounting, which utilizes blockchain to track the value of nature and the value it will provide over its lifetime. So for example, they're able to track the amount of carbon a tree can sequester, or the increased value that can now be quantified from actually restoring those ecosystems. And so, for example, degraded natural capital assets, such as brownfields, polluted lakes and rivers, clear-cut forest areas, deserts, and land with very little economic value can be pledged as assets to the Earth Sovereign Wealth Fund. And then an action plan is set up with the local communities to restore and revitalize these degraded assets. This will increase its natural capital asset value, which generates new wealth and prosperity and abundance for Earth Dollar stakeholders. And so to me, this is such an amazing way to incentivize people even more to restore Mother Earth and be able to place a value on it that anyone can understand and quantify and really wrap their mind around. And this is, to me, such a beautiful innovation because it switches from a value system of extraction. Instead of needing to take things out of the earth, instead of needing to cut down trees and use this old framework of how we used to value things, it really switches it from a value system of extraction to a value system of restoration, and all with the mission of working towards the Sustainable Development Goals. And another key about this project that I think is so important is that as we progress further into this digital world, we need to ensure that the opportunity gap does not widen and that certain communities are not left out of these conversations and are not left behind as we develop even more. And another project that I would love to highlight is called Impulse Empower. And so whereas the last one is an innovation in technology and in digital currency, to me, this really stands out because it's an innovation in its business model and that the way that the business was set up. And it's had incredible impact towards the SDGs. And so this one is a woman-run small business that not only manufactures gorgeous, ethically and sustainably made products that are shipped around the globe, but the impact of this MSE goes far beyond. It was founded by a brilliant woman, Hasina Karbi, when she first came to grips with the heartbreaking number of girls that were going missing due to trafficking in her community in India. And after years of extremely challenging work, she realized that the rescuing efforts alone would not suffice, and that survivors were still vulnerable even after they were rescued due to lack of resources, due to lack of steady income, and that they were still being pushed to migrate to unsafe territories. And so after she realized this, she launched Impulse Empower, which offered them an opportunity to channel their talents into weaving, which had been handed down from generation to generation, showcasing their creativity, capturing the story of the tribe in each of the woven patterns that was different and very specific to their own traditions. And then this also preserved the trade and tradition, enabling them to live a life not one of dependency and helplessness, but a life of respect and dignity, and have the opportunity to stay right within their own ecosystem. And then this curbed that unsafe migration. Through her business, she also highlights the importance of ethical and sustainable production along the entire value chain. And responsible and transparent production is something that's becoming more and more important to consumers around the globe. And so this is already a practice that should become more standard across the board. But the way that she does it is with such intention and such care, paying attention to every worker that's involved. And to date, I get chills every time I say the statistic because it's so amazing. But to date, she has rescued over 72,000 survivors and provided a new opportunity for them to not only survive, but to thrive. And to me, this is so exciting in this world of innovation. It's easy to think that innovation means only the high-tech companies and the latest technical advancements, but it can be something as simple as that, of setting up a beautiful business model that creates job opportunities and community engagement and goes so much farther than just the product that's being made and creating a successful, thriving business, but one that sets up the livelihood for thousands of people. And we've heard from other speakers today many benefits around MSEs. But to me, one of my favorite benefits also is how nimble and flexible they are, and that they provide the ability to create tailored solutions to the challenges that present themselves. And another favorite project of mine was about 2 years ago now. My business, Opolis, had the opportunity to design a custom technology piece for an amazing program at Georgia Technical University. And so we provided the customized energy-efficient LED lighting that was then built into these amazing aquaponics units. And so then they had engineering alumni from Georgia Technical University get paired up with students from a local high school in Atlanta, where they lived in an area that was suffering from a food desert. And over the course of the school year, the students went through a multidisciplinary program where they were able to learn about the engineering that went into the unit, the importance of sustainable food production, and they even learned about entrepreneurship when at the end of the year, they sold that produce that they had grown and put their time and their energy and their love into. They were able to then sell that back to their community and to local restaurants. And it was such a beautiful program. And I believe that models like this allow for collaboration and sharing of knowledge and the opportunities to feel and the opportunity for communities to feel empowered to address their own challenges and not need to seek outside resources. And there are countless other innovations that we're seeing emerge every single day, and ones I get so excited about, from drones that can now deliver medicine to remote regions, to off-grid solar companies that are bringing light and opportunities to rural communities. And now with increased access to smartphones, we're seeing the development of many apps that are transforming lives. But there are vast challenges that our planet is facing, and having the ability to collaborate with MSEs across the globe and understand what has worked, what can be learned and applied to new challenges is essential as we work towards achieving these SDGs together. And so I shared just a few of my examples, but I'm sure you can all kind of guess, what do all of these have in common? They're innovative solutions to the SDGs that were not created by some large tech corporation with a huge R&D budget. The real difference makers were the women in the villages that wanted to keep their families safe, were the young boys that saw the impact that climate change was going to have on their own hometown. These are the innovators and the entrepreneurs that are going to save our planet and build a brighter future for the next generation. We're seeing incredible innovations emerge, but more importantly, I believe, is the intention. It's the intention and the commitment to the people and the planet that will be the driving force that will help us achieve the SDGs. I wish I had more time to share with you all, but thank you so much for having me today and giving me this opportunity to highlight some of the incredible projects that are out there and the people that are really making a difference towards the SDGs in this world.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ashley, for that really inspiring session. This is the excitement and energy we need while implementing the SDGs. I'm sure our audience will surely have got energized by your session. Thank you so much once again for joining us.
Thank you.